My name is Kiran B. Sethi. I am the founder of the Riverside School in India, as well as a global movement called Design for Change. And to answer the question about what challenges both the Riverside and Design for Change are addressing, I'd like to actually look at it more as opportunities rather than either problems or even challenges. And I think it is to craft and design an education system that gets every child to believe in the power of I can, the idea of empowerment and student agency. And I remember when I started the Riverside School 20 years ago, my son encountered an education that rewarded compliance over conversation. So as long as he was good and kept quiet and listened to whatever the teacher said, well, he got his results. And for me, I think that just wasn't good enough. So often children have been incidental to their learning program. So when I started Riverside, it was really to invite the student voice to be an equal and an important participant in the learning journey. And it was amazing. Amazing to see children demonstrate agency independent of age or gender or even demographics. So long we've looked at children through three lenses. One is age. We've said, oh, you're so young. Wait, not now. When you're older, you will be agents of change. Or gender. Oh, you can. There are certain, possibilities for and opportunities for males versus females. Or it could be demographics, depending on where you're born. You will have, a journey in life. So once you remove these three filters, I keep saying, and lenses by which you look at your children, magic happens. And so at Riverside, I think crafting what I like to call an I can superhero formula to get every child to believe I can make the world a better place was really the greatest design solution that we made. So we made a little framework called 4 simple steps: feel, imagine, do, and share. And with this, what we call FIDS for kids, every child got that superpower. And so I think when we started seeing the agency in children at Riverside, I think it was just so important to take it beyond. So in 2009, when I launched Design for Change, it was a way to share this belief system with every child on the planet, being used by over 2 million children. And it is incredible. It is absolutely a humbling experience to see children use FIDS to basically change their worlds. Whether it is reducing the weight of a school bag or caring for the elderly, tackling bullying, or even stopping child marriage. They are changing the bad and making it good with the power of their ideas. So that's really been the work that both Riverside and Design for Change does. And just to demonstrate the power of FIDS, I'd like to show you just one story of our children taking care of the world. No journey is without obstacles, but I'm not a fan of possibly talking so much about the obstacles. But in education, for the longest time, we have measured success by academic scores. Until such time we continue to do that, we diminish the power in our children. So I would like to say that when I started Riverside 20 years ago, I've seen a remarkable shift in the way people and education is looking at children in these 20 years. So whilst I do know the resistance in education was, no, if your program does not make math scores better, we're not interested. But I think today, 20 years down, that obstacle or problem has also turned into an opportunity. I think, and then COVID has just unmasked this entire dysfunctional system and really put the spotlight back on student well-being and student emotional intelligence. And there can't be, I think, a more simpler and more inclusive program like FIDS for education to bring back that student agency along with emotional well-being in our children. So, well, it can just get better. One thing that I've learned through these 20 years, both at Riverside and Design for Change, that you have to be, and I use this word with great love, shameless. You have to be shameless when you are championing the cause of children. There is no space for diplomacy or being polite, and I think shamelessly to collaborate, to reach out to others, to recognize what you don't know and what you can only do when you're with somebody else. That whole idea of being better together. It has been marvelous. I think we've been really, really fortunate to have giants that we have collaborated with in the space of education and children, right from, of course, CRI that we work with to, you name it, anybody who's working in the space of education in both in the fields of design and in education we have worked with. So, to name a few, of course, right from, of course, the Harvard Graduate School of Education, the Good Project, to IDEO, to UNICEF, to the Global Goals, to, even, and I would like to say the biggest one was when we took, in 2019, it was a massive, grand celebration of collaboration when we took children, 3,000 children from over 30 countries to spotlight this idea of agency at the Vatican itself. So I would say we are willing, free, and happy to collaborate with anybody. One lesson I have learned about effective collaboration and problem solving is you should never walk in with your weakness. You should always recognize what you don't know. And I think if you have that humility to recognize that you don't have all the answers, that you're here not to compete with an idea, but to complete it by virtue of what you can bring to the table. It means no ego, the act of listening, and always to remember you're not working only for my children or your children, but you're working for all children.
Here's to Design for Change.